What's good, people? It's like a broken record, isn't it? It's like a broken record. We're continuously falling down the same tropes once again. It's like a never ending story. We keep falling down the same rabbit hole, wanting things to be different when they're completely not. Every time we turn around, we're right back into the same position, same spot over and over again. Stephen A. Smith continues to double down of his agenda-based attacks on professional black athletes, especially those who make a stance on their beliefs that have nothing to do with him. He can't help himself. He got to do it. And when Kevin Durant says, "I'm had enough of it," then there's a problem. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Now that they both on the same team, this is just great for him. No matter what team Kevin Durant goes to, he's always going to have something negative to say about Kevin Durant. No matter what happens with Kyrie Irving, he's always going to have something negative to say about Kyrie Irving. Now he goes to say, there's going to be people, especially in Golden State, wins and Brooklyn doesn't, with all the stuff that's went on in the past year, that it's going to look like they're going to look at his choice to join Kyrie Irving and depart from Steph Curry as opposed as to staying with Steph Curry, and it's going to affect his legacy. They're going to say, this man left Stephen Curry. You left Stephen Curry to go over to Kyrie. Especially if they don't win. And Golden State wins. He won't be known by in his career as the man who left Steph Curry. Really? Is that what they're going to say about Kevin Durant? Man, he left Steph Curry. You're just painting a false narrative that doesn't exist, nobody was thinking about. You created it for your own personal agenda that you're serving and you're pushing. The Lakers are in 9th place in the West. I don't see you having all this smoke for the Lakers. I don't see all this smoke. You have it for Westbrook, but I don't see it for LeBron. I don't see all this. But I always see it for Kyrie Irving. I always see it for Kevin Durant. And even Kevin's mama got in there, and you coming in there apologizing to her. Yes, mama, I'm sorry. You're not sorry. That's what I say. People who apologize, they think, oh, because I apologize, you have to accept it. No, they don't have to accept your apology, especially when they don't think it's a real apology. You just doing it because you've been called out. Listen, There's always going to be fools in the industry. Okay? There are situations that you can talk about that are interesting topics. Why do you need to jump on Kevin Durant continuously over and over again? He's done this so many times that it's like it's a rendition that continuously go over and over. I'm like, oh my God. Unbelievable. But the main problem is this, good people. Stephen A. Smith is paid to not tell you about the sport. He's not going to tell you how great someone is or what a transition the Memphis Grizzlies have made and trusting the draft to develop their talent, to build to where they are. How the Minnesota Timberwolves used the draft and actually doing great GM work. They never tell you these things, and they're on ESPN. They're not on YouTube. They're on ESPN. They're on a major platform for sports. Supposed to be sports, people. Yet, you don't get that from them. You get an agenda. That's what you're getting, an agenda. And I have no idea why any of this is being overlooked. He has been doing this before Kwame Brown called him out. Other people have called out Stephen A. Smith on what he did. He made his career off Allen Iverson. Then he just switched up. He said something to LeBron James and they smacked him on the hand for saying something about LeBron James. And ever since then, he's been towing the line. So whatever's been going on over there, I don't know, everybody's throwing up memes right now. It's funny. Everybody got these memes with Kevin Durant and Stephen A. Smith. It's hilarious. And he called him Steve. Steve, since you decided to use ESPN to push your personal agendas, I'm sure your minions will run with this story for you. But if you believe this is what my career is defined by, then you just a flat out hater. It's going to be hard to box the God in. Look, man, Kevin Durant knows he's the best basketball player in the game right now. Period. I mean, it's no doubt. Who's number two? So if you comparing who's the better basketball player, LeBron or Kevin Durant, it's not close. It's KD every time. That man's a phenom. Now, if you want to look at different scenarios as far as where everybody wants to end up when it's all said and done, as far as careers, when it's, you know, when everything is like over, you're going to be thinking to yourself, when it's all said and done, where did it go wrong? Because one day they're gonna say the wrong thing to the wrong athlete. Because I guarantee you, if he'd have did any of this to any white athlete, let him do this to Luka Doncic, and Luka speak up about it, I guarantee you gonna see some changes. If Luka Doncic was to get this type of abuse from Stephen A. Smith, I guarantee you it would be dealt with differently than anything anybody has ever known in the face of this world. Now, what is this behavior pattern that we see? You can make millions of dollars tearing down people, and they will promote that. The moment you try to promote something and do something positive, there's no balance anymore. It's always, let's rip somebody to shreds. Forget about how that other person feels. Let's rip them down to shreds. And they said, well, you dog on LeBron all the time. Exactly. Do you know why I do it? Because he's given me the reason to. That is the difference. When you give me the reason to do something, it's entirely different. It's an entirely different situation when someone gives you the reason. This guy does something every day because he wants to be talked about. Now, I didn't even speak on it when he congratulated the other team for beating the Lakers. It's a rivalry game between the Clippers and the Lakers. They win on a game-winning shot. You don't even play in the game, but you go ahead and congratulate the Clippers on getting the victory. And the reason why you congratulate the Clippers is to try to get some attention back on you because you're waiting to come back on national TV. Now, millions of people across the world watch this toxic behavior and it spreads like wildfire. People are mimicking this on the internet. This is what they do. They don't believe in anything. They have no code. They go along with whatever the trend is. They don't even believe 90 other percent of the things they're saying. They're saying it just to get hits, views, and attention. That's it. They don't want anything to interfere or get in the way of. Now, Stephen A. Smith. Let's keep it here right quick. Stephen A. Smith has made a career out of doing this process because he once was bullied. He once didn't like being talked about. He was casted out. And now his whole thing now is I'm going to be subservient to the people that's above me. I will not challenge anything anymore. There is no way I'm going to challenge the masters again. I'm not saying a word. I'm going to keep my mouth shut and toe the line. Look at Hollywood. Every show that's got a black guy on it, right? That black guy is either feminine, and if the black guy is masculine, then he's a problem. We got to get rid of him. Or they got to cast him with someone that his love interest is not an African American woman. That can't stand. Look at all these shows on the internet, YouTube, what have you. Take a look at it. And what do you see? Right? What do you see? Every black man that they show on these shows, these little gossip shows like Hollywood Gossip or ETV, all of them, if they have a black guy on these shows and they're talking about what's going on in celebrity news or current events, they're the most docile, and the majority of them just might be, hold your phone, homosexual. If you see the males in this category on these shows, why is it they have to be homosexual? Look at the people that got these shows. They the main ones on these talk shows. The Hollywood Unlocked guy. One of the first episodes, it came out that he was a homosexual, Jason Lee. Now all of a sudden, Jason Lee is going on these diets and doing all this because he wants to be a Hollywood player. He wants to be on the mainstream with everybody. Right? So Floyd helped put together that Hollywood Unlocked situation. And this guy goes out and attacks everybody and do all these things that he was doing. But it's okay if they gay. It's okay. See, you could do that and get away with it if you're gay. See, that's their safe card. So if they trying to cancel you and they coming after you, you just say you gay and you might get away with it. Because they can't do no wrong. Right? Whatever they say, that goes. Now, there's just so many different analogies, different situations to go through. When you looking at sports, period, or programming, like they put Stephen A. Smith on boxing. Used to let him cover the fights. He went to fights. Don't get me wrong. Stephen A. Smith used to go to the boxing fights. I used to see him all the time at the fights. Floyd Mayweather would fight. He, like I told you, we saw him at Mayweather Judah. We was sitting there talking to him. There's no problems. And this was before. This was all before he got humbled. And now he had to come back and kiss the brass ring. He had a fall from grace. And now he's conformed to just doing this and doing whatever the masters want him to do. In other words, he's been spaded and neutered. And they then sent him out to the world for the whole rest of the world to take one good look at him and say, see, this is the example right here. And we are left to deal with it. What's left. That's on us. Okay. We'll be your Huckleberry. We'll show you how to get rid of them. But what would happen if we all got smart and said, we gonna tune this nonsense out? What happens then? What happens when we tune these people out? See, if we tune them out, they will have to conform to changing their ways because they don't want to starve. If we start blocking them out and doing our own thing, or we stop giving them the light and the time of day, things gonna turn around because it's already turning and they just don't see it coming. The people are getting tired of tuning in to them. They're going more and more on YouTube and on the internet and watching shows. That's why they're trying to get them to conform and do the same thing and spread it all on the YouTube and the internet. Spread that gossip that they want, their agenda. But what happens when the agenda doesn't work anymore? Then what? Nobody ever took the time to think about it, I guess. So, oh man. It's one of those days, buddy. Oh yeah, support the real. Like, welcome to HD 2 Eyes TV. Subscribe to him. Subscribe to Seahawks Jose Rodriguez channel. Subscribe to Ed Kwame Brown Bus Life. Subscribe to Bus Life Real Sports. You know, it's like we gotta do better. You know, definitely subscribe here, you know. Gotta do that. But we gotta do better. You know? Oh, thanks, Irv, for your Cash App, too. Appreciate that. Everybody who hit up the Cash App, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, that's what's up. Got another message. Diva Jules, thank you. Chris Brown, Aaron George, who's that? Milwaukee Jeff, I see you. Even Mr. Jacobs got involved. Malachi, Samara, Samuel, Donetta, Artis, Carmen Cortez, Terrence Hardley, Seneca. Definitely. And Kwame Brown, thank you. You sent me a super chat. That's nice. Jamal Edwards. And the list goes on and on. Anthony Griffith, Cole House Walker, and Spitting Fire. Cali Baby, Lorenzo Holloway. Thank all you guys, man, and all the many more on the super chat. Thank y'all, man. Y'all keep the boat moving. Well, see, all these clowns are connected. Stephen A. Smith connected to Angela Rye. Angela Rye's connected to Charlemagne. Charlemagne's connected to Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. All of these dudes is all in one big circle, connected. And there's nothing wrong with being connected with people. You understand? There's nothing wrong with networking with people. But when you're in a bad network, when people have an agenda, when that network has a massive agenda, then you start to notice there's a major problem somewhere down the line. There's always a massive agenda down the line somewhere. I mean, Kevin Durant ain't gonna care less because Kevin Durant will be defined by what he wants to do and what he did on the court. So I'm not worried about that. Kevin Durant is gonna be Kevin Durant. You ain't gotta worry about KD. Kevin Durant knows exactly what he's doing and who he is as a person, so none of that's gonna even matter when it's all said and done. Kevin Durant's career is not gonna be defined on, oh, he left Steph Curry or he left Westbrook and all that. These are just some of the storylines that they try to create to make the narrative of someone's career. It's like they were a couple or something. He left Westbrook. Now you don't hear nobody talking about him leaving Russ. First, it was all the outrage of how dare he leave Russell Westbrook. They could have won a championship. Now Russ on the Lakers and he's stinking it up. Man, I see why Kevin Durant left Westbrook. You see what I'm saying? How these narratives are, and they try to create these storylines to try to sell the sport. It's ridiculous. The game itself is worth more than that. The game will dictate what's what. The Knicks and Indiana Pacers didn't have a rivalry because somebody said something about the other team. The game dictated that rivalry. You let the game dictate who's the rival. Y'all try to create this rivalry on social media before they even play the game against each other. Let the game dictate if there's going to be a rivalry or not, or the two. Let the game dictate that. The fans can follow it. They don't need no help from y'all trying to create the narratives. That's why people got vested into watching these games. We were all in tune with other games besides Michael Jordan when Jordan was playing. It didn't have to be, oh, Michael Jordan ain't playing, I ain't watching. We had plenty of other games. It was plenty of other players in the league. Like my mom said, I just got an email. No, but like my mom said, she can name like every player back then. The Charles Barkleys, the Karl Malones. She can't name a player in the league today except for LeBron James. She's like, oh, Steph Curry, I hear him and LeBron James. That's about it. She can't name 3 more players in this league. And that is how the average casual fan is. So the average casual fan is not going to know who is the 3 or 4 players. They might know of Kawhi, and some might know of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. With casual fans, they're not really interested anymore because people want their information faster. So that's why they're watching things at a rapid pace. It wasn't the streaming and all of this kind of hurt the business more than it helped it because, yeah, you get to see all these clips and highlights, but if you're doing that, would you care about watching the game if you just watched all the highlights all day? Kind of defeated the purpose of really watching the game. But you don't know what's going on in the game if you hadn't seen the game. And that's the problem we got today. Too many people reporting on games they haven't even watched. You can't just watch highlights and say, oh, this is the game and so killed because he had this many points and rebounds and assists. You actually have to watch the game to see what actually transpired. So, anyway, I've taken up too much of your time already. So we're going to go ahead and call it. But yeah, man, I saw the Tommy first episode, and we'll talk about that power situation probably later on today. Do a StreamYard on it or something. That way we can all speak on it. But until then, I'm out. Be easy, be safe. God bless you.